And we're back, 8 April 2020. We have a great workout. It's a task priority workout in which the task is set and it's up to you to accomplish it as quickly as possible. What we have are 3 rounds for time of 30 deadlifts, 20 handstand push-ups, and 15 front squats. So you will perform 30 deadlifts directly into 20 handstand push-ups, directly into 15 front squats. Once you finish that first round, you'll start right back at those 30 deadlifts and complete that pattern for 2 more sets, so a total of 3 rounds. The 30 deadlifts, we'll be looking to use dumbbells, kettlebells, or an odd object. The handstand push-ups, we have several ways that we can scale those that we'll discuss in the movement lecture following this. And the 15 front squats, we'll be looking to use either a front rack position or a goblet position. And again, we'll be discussing those in the movement lecture. You ready? Mm-hmm. That was terrible. This is on camera. We're live. We're live here. All right, I'm going to keep this in. Let's go. Okay, let's get into the movements. Deadlift, handstand push-up, front squat. We have pretty high volume work today. 90 total deadlifts, 60 total handstand push-ups, 45 total front squats. What we're going to demonstrate for the deadlifts are dumbbell and odd object versions. The kettlebell, very similar to the dumbbell. You're just going to be holding the horns of the kettlebell rather than the handles of a dumbbell. This is what the dumbbell deadlifts will look like. Let's do 3 repetitions. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Turn to the side. You can put those dumbbells down. What we're looking for in the setup is that the athlete bends the knees, sends the hips back and the shoulders forward until they come down to the point where they can reach the dumbbells. Slow motion, I guess, is what we're going for here. All right. No worries. Back down. Come on. From here, we're looking to have the back as flat as possible. Shoulder blades pulled back and nice neutral spines. We want to avoid any type of flexion, all right? Lift that chest nice and tall. From here, we're just going to drive through the ground by extending the knees and the hips, squeezing the butt until the athlete stands up. Let's do 2 reps from the side with the dumbbells. What I want you to notice with the dumbbells, on subsequent reps, we only need 1 head of the dumbbell to touch the ground, all right? That's going to take a little bit of stress off the lower back. Now, if all we had was an odd object, maybe a medicine ball at home or a backpack filled with something, what we can do is an odd object deadlift. We're going to widen the feet to about shoulder width, whereas where Lisa's doing it with the dumbbells, those feet are under the hips, all right? But with an odd object, we're going to keep that back nice and flat still, hands to the side of a backpack or a ball, and we're simply going to stand up and down for 30 repetitions. Of course, like all our WODs, we can always scale the reps down if necessary. Now let's move into our handstand push-ups. We're not going to demonstrate those just because of wall space and tables and everything, but what we will demonstrate are your scaling options, which the first one is the pike push-up. So with those feet outside of shoulder width, so relatively wide, the athlete's going to bend over, keeping a relatively vertical back position, all right, as vertical as possible. Hands are going to be about shoulder width. And then what we're looking for is the athlete's going to flex the elbows until the head contacts slightly in front of the hands, creating this tripod where the head is in front of the hands. The athlete's then going to extend the elbows, pushing the head back in towards the body, all right? That's key to maintaining this vertical back position, all right? Relax. Very, very challenging movement, so don't be concerned if you want to tailor the reps down on that. Now, if we have dumbbells that are relatively light, what we can also perform as a scaling option is shoulder presses. If we have 1 dumbbell, we'll just be looking for 10 total presses on 1 arm, looking for the dumbbell to hit the shoulder, and then with a locked out elbow overhead, and then 10 with the other arm as well, all right? That is always an option. If you have 2 dumbbells that are relatively light, you can do 20 total reps. Again, always keep in mind that you can decrease the reps as needed. The last thing we have is the front squat. So the front squat is going to be with 2 dumbbells in a rack position with 1 head of the dumbbell on the shoulder, all right? Elbows are gonna meet front, pointing straight ahead like laser beams. The athlete, let's turn to the side for this. Feet are gonna be set at shoulder width, all right? So a wider stance. We're then gonna have the athlete send the hips back and down, pushing those knees out, keeping the torso as vertical as possible, and then standing all the way back up. Let's do one more. Sending those hips back and down until the crease of the hip is below the top of the knee. And then standing back up, relax. If we only have one dumbbell or we only want to use one, we can default to a goblet squat, which will look like this. Same squat mechanics, just different rack position. And the athlete's then going to squat, sending the hips back and down, squatting to full depth, and standing all the way back up. Relax. And of course, we can always squat with just an air squat, which is no weight, and that'll look like this. All right, that's perfectly acceptable and very much encouraged. Good luck. Like I said, pretty high volume today, but only 3 rounds. So push yourself, have fun, get at it. Hopefully it's a beautiful day wherever you are. Awesome.